hate people who, it will feel like they've betrayed you. They'll give in to their inner cowardice, and they will abandon you when you need it most. They will give in to the pressure of your enemies to disavow you, to abandon you, and even to ostracize you. Now, some of these people will be ideologues. Some of these people will be people who really don't like you, but most of them aren't. Most of them don't know who you are. All most of them know is that if they don't disavow you, if they don't abandon you, then they will be next. They're operating on fear. Now, one of the things that Lieutenant Colonel Grossman points out is that the opposite of courage isn't usually a moral failing, so much as it is something akin to exhaustion. It's a physiological problem, and you can no more shame people out of fear, for the most part, than you can convince a dog that it did something wrong by rubbing its nose in urine, or beating it for 2 hours later for something it did earlier in the day. The connection is not going to be made, and you're more likely just going to stress them out more and make them feel more endangered and more stressed, which is going to make them cave into fear even more. The way, if you want people to behave with courage, is you need to lead by example and to comfort them and to help give them emotional anchor points in their life and the stability from which to act with courage. Now, the ideologues who hate you for your nature and as a conscious choice rather than out of fear, those people, not only should you hate them, but if you don't hate them, they very well might destroy you. But the people who are acting out of fear and have a deer in the headlights freeze response to when sides are called in the aftermath of some political event like Charlottesville. The path forward may involve distrust. You may even feel contempt and may even express contempt. But be sure not to condemn them as the enemy, because they're not. And many of them can and eventually will even come around to your side if you let them and if you give them the security to do so. We're all human beings with free will, but we're also subject to our physiology and our environment as well. And those of us who have built up the character and the lives that allow us to act with courage should be circumspect in condemning the cowardice of people who were busy doing other things with their life and who didn't see this coming and who didn't prepare. We can condemn them for a lack of foresight, but if we want to move forward with allies in the future, we should always be willing to bring people back into the fold, and to forgive people even if they failed under pressure, even if they gave in to their cowardice and left. Perhaps we shouldn't trust them, but we should be able to forgive them and to accept them again.